Hey friends, Danetha here, creator of Money and Mimosas. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the April full moon. So this full moon is a powerful one. It is the Libra full moon, which means that things are coming into harmony, coming into balance. That's what Libra is all about. It's also a pink supermoon. So supermoon, lots of energy, lots of power behind this. When you set your intentions, you'll be supported with lots of energy, as well as pink. That color really plays with the theme that we had set for April in terms of money, which is reimagining what's possible. I'll link that video down below where I talked about the theme for April, which was about opening up our mind's eye to envision a grander, elevated experience in your individual life as well as collectively. And this pink super full moon is in alignment with that overarching money message for the month of April. Pink is also the color of restoration and harmony and balance. And it's incredible because everything's just coming together all at the same time. So I have some notes to share with you about this full moon. If you're new to my moon readings, you'll know that, or if you are new to my moon readings, something you should know is that I am a writer, and these messages I get about the energy that's surrounding those of us that are on this path, it comes to me through my writing. And so I'll read to you what I had downloaded from those messages. So this full moon, to start off, it is about shedding, releasing expectations, letting go of doubts, and the word cutting kept coming through for me. So cutting off the parts of you that are no longer in harmony with the vision that you have for yourself, letting go of what you expect things to look like moving forward, releasing those expectations, and shedding areas of your life that maybe worked for you in the past, although you're coming to realize that it probably never really worked for you in the past. You were just settling for less, and you made do with what the situation was and the circumstances and the people, the things that were around you. And now you're waking up to that moving forward, those elements in your life cannot be a part of your experience because they're holding you back, they're draining your energy. And this full moon is supporting you in letting those things go. Some of those things may be habits, behaviors, attitudes, it could be people, and it's going to be challenging to let those go. And this energy is here to support you in that. It'll feel uncomfortable. And once you move through it and with it, you'll come out on the other side brighter and filled with a golden light and realizing, wow, life was always supposed to feel like this. I just had all of these things holding me back. And this full moon is here to show you, to illuminate those areas in your life that you'll need to let go of. When it comes to money, that's my focus, is abundance in terms of earthly riches. These elements in your life are holding you back from your abundance. They are holding you back from experiencing peace and prosperity. And this full moon is shining brightly on those areas of your life. It could be the way you're going about doing your business. It could be the types of services that you're providing as a business owner. If you're working for a company, it could be the type of role that you're in. It could be even potentially the company that you're with, or the way you've been working in the past is no longer, you're realizing, wasn't conducive to your overall well-being. A lot of us right now are working from home, and some of you may be realizing, wow, that commute that I was doing every single day was not good for me. And moving forward, I'm going to have to find some sort of balance to create harmony in my life. So it could be things like that, whether you work for a company, whether you own your own business. It could be within your career that things are coming to light in terms of what is working for you, what is no longer working for you, and the steps that you need to take in order to create harmony and balance within your life. It could be within your relationships, within your love life or friendships. You're starting to see people for who they truly are. And that doesn't make them bad. It doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make them good. It doesn't make you better than them. But the fact of the matter is you're realizing that there are ways that you are going about life and that you want to continue to do, that there are people in your life that are no longer in alignment with that. They have a different path, they have a different perspective, they're on a different wavelength. And in the past, you may have put up with that. You may have, one of your values is likely the idea of having longevity in relationships, that the longer the relationship is, the better and the deeper the relationship is. However, this full moon is highlighting for some of us that value may not be serving you anymore. It may never have served you, but now the light is shining on it brightly that it is no longer serving you. And you'll have to come to terms with the fact that there are going to be things in your life that needs to shed away, and some of those may be relationships. Doesn't mean you completely turn your back on those individuals. However, moving forward, you will have to be clear about your boundaries in order to protect your energy and protect your abundance. These relationships are a part of what's holding you back from achieving your greatest success, and also experiencing life to its fullest and experiencing peace and prosperity. So shedding in that regard, looking at your career, your relationships, some of the habits that you've developed over these years. It'll be tough to look at in the mirror and look at these things, but some of those habits that you've probably already know need to shift, and now the light is truly shining on them to do the work necessary to shift those behaviors. It could be habits, it could be a mindset, a way that you've been viewing life, a scarcity mindset that you've been holding that needs to shift more towards abundance. That light is being shown on those areas. This full moon, super moon, the pink moon, is really shining a light on these shadow areas, not to expose them in terms of making you bad or feel wrong for having these areas in your life. It's more that these shadow areas are actually a portal into your deepest desires. That's what the shadow is all about. It's not necessarily about denouncing it or making yourself feel bad for having these behaviors or habits particularly, but it's about, what are these behaviors and habits showing me? For instance, the word that keeps coming up for me is laziness. There may be this element of you that feels like you need to go hard all the time. You need to grind and hustle. And there's a part of you, though, there are some areas in your life where you have this habit or behavior developed where you're more lackadaisical or even lazy. Those are the words that people will use. Lazy has a negative connotation, but what lazy is trying to show you is that you can relax. You can breathe into experiences. You don't have to always go, 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 go. It will actually be in your best interest to adopt some of those behaviors in other areas of your life. So it could be habits and behaviors that completely need to shift. It could also be habits and behaviors that pop up unconsciously for you, and that need to be involved in other areas of your life. This is, everyone has to take this message from the full moon and apply it to their own life. And so for you, it could be either or both. It could be completely shifting behaviors. It could be recognizing those unconscious behaviors that you've been pushing to the side that need to shine more in your life. And it could be a combination of the two. And this full moon is shedding a light, shining a light on those areas that we need to shed within us. And shedding that could be the judgment that you hold against yourself for some of the behaviors that you've had and do have. And those behaviors can be ones that don't necessarily need to be completely released. They need to actually be invited in and integrated within your life. That's the word, integration, harmony, balance. That's what Libra is all about. That's what this full moon is all about. And allowing yourself to look in those dark crevices of your life will help you see what needs to be integrated. Where do I need balance? Where do I need harmony? And sometimes that means adopting more of those behaviors that you've shunned. And it could also mean releasing some of those behaviors, people, aspects of your career that are no longer working for you. Harmony, balance, integration. That's what the shedding piece of this full moon is all about. Cutting ties with your old self. So this moon is calling for us to elevate. This has been an ongoing message for as long as I've been practicing with the full moon. And especially now, the energy is really potent in terms of we're under a collective energy. And so cutting ties with your old self, cutting ties with settling for less. That's really what it's about. And having this vision of where you want to be, where you want to go, and focusing on elevating. Elevating, elevating, elevating. That word keeps coming up always. Elevating your way of being, elevating your way of thinking, elevating your experiences, elevating, elevating, elevating. And in order to do that, you'll have to cut ties with your old parts of your old self, parts of you that allowed you to settle for less, parts of you that held judgment against yourself, parts of you that you feel ashamed about, parts of you that bring up feelings of guilt. Those areas need to be looked at. The light is shining on them, and then you'll have to do the work to cut those parts off because they are prohibiting you from achieving your greatest potential and realizing peace and prosperity in your life. This full moon, as we do this work, it's really calling for us. This is the pink side of the moon. It's calling for restoration, nourishment, beauty, self-grace, granting self-permission, letting go of permission, validation from others. This full moon is about really taking care of ourselves. I feel the word mothering comes up for me. Really mothering ourselves, allowing ourselves to do restorative workouts, not feeling like we have to beat ourselves into a pulp, and giving ourselves grace and spaciousness and ease to go about life. This is, oh my gosh, this is so much in alignment with the video about April. Again, I'll link that below, about reimagining what's possible. In that video, it came through to me that this month is about flow. It's about moving with grace, moving with ease, really indulging in everyday moments. When you eat a bite of, when you have a bite of strawberry, for instance, really savoring each and every juicy bite. That's what this period, this full moon is ushering in, a period of restoration and nourishment And through this, we'll have to be gentle with ourselves, show ourselves grace, and give ourselves permission, grant ourselves permission to be that person that we've always wanted to be. You've had these feelings bubbling up inside of you, and now it's becoming incredibly, those feelings are right there at the surface now. If they haven't already bubbled over, it's as if you can't even contain these desires, because they're right there, shining brightly for you to see. And this moon is calling us to say, yep, give yourself the green light. Go ahead. Now's the time to really settle into that person, that elevated person that you've always wanted to be. Get comfortable in your skin and own all parts of you, the shadow parts of you, the areas, your gifts. A lot of us need to give ourselves permission to own our gifts, and when we do that, we give ourselves permission to be paid gorgeously for what we love to do, because our gifts are a reflection of what comes easily to us, and usually, I would say most of the time, those are the things we love to do. And by granting yourself permission to own those areas of your life, you are opening up the door, you're opening up the treasure chest to the pot of gold that's waiting for you to be compensated for what truly lights you up and truly makes you happy. And that is peace and prosperity on earth. So now's the time to step into your future self. This full moon, with this energy tonight, go ahead and